Hi, everyone. Welcome to today's edition of the E-volve podcast. My name is Adboni, the host of the E-volve podcast. I trust your week is starting out well and I trust you're doing well. This week, we'll be looking at an interesting topic titled Your Greatest Enemy. Your Greatest Enemy. We live in the part of the world where whenever anything goes wrong in our life, we tend to attribute it to a particular reason, mostly external reasons. Sometimes we try to find people to blame. Sometimes we try to find situations or circumstances to put the blame on. Very few people actually take responsibility for whatever goes wrong in their life. And those few people are among those who eventually tend to become outstanding or successful in life. So it is important that we deal with this subject of enemies, perceived enemies, known enemies, even the one we suspect to be enemies. And so, who is your greatest enemy? Let me quickly use this scripture in I think Matthew chapter 10 verse 36, where Jesus Christ said, "A man's greatest enemies shall be those of his household." Contextually, that passage was speaking more around when a man decides to live for Christ, all the kind of oppositions he can face from within his household, from his mother, from his father, from people that are close to him. But if you also look at it, that household also means you, the things that live inside of you, your own house as a person, your own person, your personality, your mind, the habits you have, your decision framework, everything about you as a person. It could be your own household. So, who is really our enemy? Who is really your enemy? Your greatest enemy actually is not anyone outside there. It's you. You are your greatest enemy. And you are also your best ally if you choose to do the right things. How do I mean? Now, when you take decisions, you take wrong decisions, and you then have to live with the consequences after. Who is responsible for that wrong decision? You. When you also take right decisions and you begin to reap the reward of that right decision, who is the first beneficiary of that right decision? You. When you also fail to take certain steps, when the time is right to take those steps, you also live with the consequences. So it affects your actions, your inactions, your decision making, your choices, your association, all of these, they tend to either work for you positively or work for you negatively. So your number one enemy really is you. It is what you do, the wrong things you do to yourself, or the wrong things you do that affect you in the long run. So that makes you your own number one enemy. Your own number one enemy. And what are the things that you do that make you become your own enemy? Number one is your negative habits, your habit of procrastinations, your habit of not being forthright, your habit of doing things shabbily, your habit of taking things at just average level, assuming that it's just average is just enough. All of that, they tend to work towards your own progress. And if you begin to look outside for who to blame, then you are even making matters worse because until you do that, you have your own first problem, you can't solve the problem. And then number two is your lifestyle, the kind of life you live. Most of the people who face challenges today, especially health-wise, most of them are results of the actions or this lifestyle they have chosen to live. Yes, there are cases where things just happen and begin to wonder where is this coming from. But most of the things they come from the things we eat, they come from how we live our life, the things we drink, the things we consume, how we sleep, the kind of health pattern or habits that we maintain. Ultimately, they tend to manifest in either good health or bad health. So your own lifestyle can be a source of an enemy for you. Number three, your poor choices. The choice of people you choose to relate with, the choice of people you choose to befriend, the choice of people you choose to work with, they all tend to affect how you turn out in life. I said, I always say that you are the average of the people you relate with. If you have intelligent people around you, if your friends are highly intelligent, you'll find that your intelligence level will rise to their level. You will always be the average, you'll be the average of all the people you have around you. And if the set of people you have around you are also very low in intelligence, you would also be low in intelligence. So the choice of your association is also a way of you becoming your own enemy. So you also need to watch that. And then your mindset also then adds to the issue. If you're also always doubting yourself, you have fears, if you have insecurities, all of these tend to affect your mindset. It tends to affect the opportunity to win life. And so you can be your own enemy in how you relate with yourself, in how you think, in how you act, in how you doubt your own self, in how you self-sabotage yourself. So all of these are ways by which you constitute your own enemy. How do you deal with this? The first recommendation is, in the place of habits, you have to learn how to develop new habits, new positive habits to replace the bad habits that you have, the negative habits you have. Let's say you procrastinate, then you have to deliberately start telling yourself that whatever needs to be done now has to be done now, not tomorrow. You stop postponing and be deliberate to act on it. Develop new habits bit by bit to replace all those negative habits. Number two, also, you need to start making better decisions. Look at your life and be truthful to yourself. Look at where you are and look at the decisions you've made that brought you to where you are, and become deliberate at taking better decisions. And how do you take better decisions? Always ask yourself, this decision I'm taking, where will it take me to in the next 1 week, in the next 1 month, in the next 2 months, in the next three months or 6 months or 1 year? All of these have to be factored in before you act on that decision. Number three, build an accountability framework. Ensure that you build people around you that would hold you accountable to the things you have determined to do. The right set of people that will hold you accountable. Ensure you build them around you. And then number four, seek counsel. Sometimes you may need to seek you may need to see a therapist. You may need to see someone who would help you to do things right, who will help you to reframe your mind. Sometimes that would have to happen. And then number five, also set goals for yourself. Sometimes the reasons why we don't make progress in life is because we don't set goals for ourselves. So you have to set goals for yourself and begin to monitor yourself towards those goals. Number six, and lastly, is to also find how to build your mind, develop your mind, read, study, listen to podcasts that would help you to reframe your mind. The more of knowledge you take in and begin to apply those knowledge, the better you become as an individual. So those are the ways you can overcome being your own worst enemy. Your enemy is not out there. The moment you deal with the enemy within, which is all the habit, the wrong things you do, you are 50% halfway to solving your problem. This week, as a roundup, I want to challenge you to look at one area of your life and look at some of the decisions you've taken in the past in that area, and begin to ask yourself, did I take the right decision? And then begin to reprogram your mind to take right decisions, and begin to set goals for yourself in that particular area, and begin to monitor the implementation of those goals. I hope this will help someone out there who has always pointed to someone else as the one responsible for where they are. You are primarily responsible for wherever you are today. And the moment you start taking responsibility for your life, that's the moment you start making progress. Thank you. Do not forget that this is a journey and we all need to keep evolving together. If you do not evolve, if you remain the same way you are, life would overrun you or overtake you. So don't forget to join again next week as we take on another topic. Thank you. See you. Bye.